Joel Embiid has been radio silent. No updates on his health, no footage of him practicing, nothing. Is he okay? Is he ever going to be back on an NBA court, or ever look like the MVP winner we've seen in the past? Or is this the last we've seen of him? Joel Embiid's career so far has unfolded into one of the craziest and most confusing stories in the league. And to fully understand the situation he and the Sixers are in, we need to go all the way back to 2011. After picking up basketball at age 15, which is already insane, he was discovered by an NBA player who helped him move to America in the hopes of making the pro leagues. After having a great season at Kansas that sadly ended in foot surgery, Embiid declared for the NBA draft. I'm going to reference the article Joel Embiid Sees You a lot in this video, and I recommend you all to read it as I think it's one of the best pieces of journalism in the NBA recently, and puts Joel's life into a different light and inspired me to make this video. So when I reference an article, I'm talking about the one I linked in the description. When Embiid moved to America, his brother stayed in Cameroon where they were living at the time. And a few years later, his brother Arthur flew to the East Coast to be with Embiid on draft night. They were supposed to watch Embiid get drafted together. This didn't happen. Due to the previously mentioned foot surgery, Joel Embiid was instructed not to fly, and eventually Arthur returned back to Cameroon without seeing his brother. A few months later, after ignoring a string of calls, Joel Embiid picks up the phone and learns that Arthur tragically passed away due to a car accident. This tragic loss led him to name his son after his late brother, and he said that he almost quit basketball after this news, but he didn't, so that he could leave a legacy in his late brother's name and leave a lasting impact for his son. This puts Joel's career into a whole new perspective. A career filled with injuries that piled up due to him not resting and playing through minor issues makes a lot of sense now. I'm going to throw up a picture of most of his issues throughout his career and also a picture of all the surgeries he's had. You're going to notice some very brutal procedures on both legs, like meniscus repair a few times. If we take the context clues of why he plays basketball into account, we can see that he played through all of these injuries to not only please the team and the media who seemed to be hounding him at the time, but also to leave the best legacy he could. All of this playing through injury leads up to the 23-24 season, where he only played 39 games, and left with another torn meniscus after resting up the whole end of season and off season leading into the 24-25 season. Fans were hopeful that Joel would return to his once amazing status as the top player in the league, but they couldn't have been more wrong. He only played in 19 games the following season, and barely looked like a fraction of himself in said games. Finally, Joel Embiid and his camp shut him down to receive arthroscopic surgery in his knee, which means that he had a few incisions made and put a small camera in his knee to help diagnose and fix issues. This procedure was supposed to keep him out for only 6 weeks, where he would then be re-evaluated. That was 4 to 5 months ago, depending on when you're watching this video. So what happened to him? Well, here's where I think his life story comes into play. I think Joel Embiid has finally stopped forcing himself to play when his body doesn't feel like it can. After years of trying to win and perform to enhance a legacy he's trying to set for his son and late brother, he's finally resting and realizing he needs to focus on what's best for him and his body. I figure Joel Embiid is being quiet on purpose, so that he can fully recover into an elite level player. And I believe he's taking so much time that his body fully recovers from all of the built up injuries it has accumulated over all the years. And I think this is the smartest thing he can do. And he seems to agree. He stated in the article I mentioned previously, "This is the most important offseason in my career." So no, Joel Embiid isn't actually missing. He's just growing as a person. He finally realizes he doesn't need to force himself to play, and that it would be better in the long run if he rested when he was injured. His legacy is already amazing, and he's left a lasting impact on the league today, even if he retires right now. Embiid going radio silent makes a lot of sense when you put all of these pieces together, and I hope this video sort of explains the situation going on as a whole, and why it's the way it is. He's not doing this because he's stubborn and doesn't want to talk to the fans. He's doing this so he doesn't have to meet certain timeline expectations and can fully recover without the outside pressures of fans and media. If Embiid's next public appearance proves me right, it could change how we see injured stars forever. But if I'm wrong, we might be witnessing one of the most sudden declines in NBA history. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Joel will return to an MVP level or even a all-star level after he comes back from injury? Or do you think that's the last we saw of that version of him? I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. It's a bit of a different style than the other ones I've made on this channel so far, but I had a lot of fun making it. So let me know if you liked it. Also, thank you guys so much for 50 subscribers. It doesn't seem like a lot, but if there was 50 of you guys in my room right now, I'd be so scared. So when you put it into perspective, it is actually a lot.